Hello to everybody. I'm very happy. I am going to present our work in Greece about the Greek natural products for the management of mild cognitive impairment. I would like to thank Mr. Osman, who invited us, our group from Greece, in order to be with you, either person to person, face to face, or virtually. This is my disclosures here. And this is the outline of my presentation. We'll go very quickly. In order to start with some words about introduction, about aging and dementia. And I would like to present here what have been done until now for patients with dementia in research studies. Until now, we have some antibodies, amyloid antibodies, which have finished the studies, and that is aducanumab and gantenerumab, and also BAN 2401. And you can see with the green color, which is the target of all this medication. We know that solanezumab and crenezumab stopped the studies. And this is because of solanezumab had as a target monomerase of beta amyloid, while this one and this one have as target toxic oligomers. And the vast majority of scientists believe that these two medications are the best we have to wait for after the clinical studies to have the best results. And as you can see, the ALZ 800-01 has no brain swelling, while the other two monoclonal antibodies have a big percentage of brain swelling. And while BAN 2401 has a better percentage of brain swelling, 10 to 15%, but also this brain swelling is not very good for our brains. So I think that the best medication we are waiting for is this one with omotavrin or tramiproside. Another medication we are going to have after perhaps 4 years is semaglutide, which we are going now to finish the recruitment of patients, many patients. The study of this medication started for the brain since 1992. And now, the previous year, 2021, we started to recruit patients in this medication. This medication has as target the neuroinflammation, and we believe that also will have very good results. When I was reading about monoclonal antibodies for Alzheimer's disease, I thought that perhaps there are more simple solutions for our brains. And I thought that perhaps we had to see if some natural products have the same results as monoclonal antibodies. And I wrote an article which was published in EC Nutrition, saying that the monoclonal antibodies or natural products will be the ideal medicine for different stages of the disease, of Alzheimer's disease. And following the father of medicine, Hippocrates, who who lived 25 centuries before, who said, let food be the medicine and medicine be our food. Follow this, we started working with some natural products which are rich in our country. And the first study we have published is about Crocus sativus from a region in the North Greece. And we gave this Crocus sativus in patients with mild cognitive impairment. And we found that we had very good results. And here you can see the neuropsychological results. You can see here is after the intervention. And you can see here the control group and the group of intervention. You can see Mini-Mental is better than the control group after 1 year. And here is MOCA. You know, MOCA is a questionnaire which we used for patients with mild cognitive impairment. Also, we have difference. The patients on Crocus sativus are better after 1 year administration than the patients who didn't take any medication. And also we had very good results also in a functional test for activities of daily living. You can see here that if we had this Crocus sativus, we had a better activities of daily living and better behavior, while in GDS, in geriatric depression scale, we have no difference because we selected patients who had no depression. What it is very impressive is that when we measured the volume of brain after this intervention, we found that there were areas in the temporal lobe, which is the lobe of memory, and also in frontal lobe, areas in frontal lobe which were had more neurons that they had before this intervention. And also this is structure MRI, but also we did event-related potentials, and we found that the function of our brain was better, as you can see here, in patients who were in the intervention group, while the patients in the control group showed this curve. Let's say some words about prevention today. And as you can see in this title, in this paper, we believe that we have to go on with prevention now, and perhaps this is the road we have to follow in order to stop Alzheimer's disease, because if we do interventions, if Alzheimer's disease starts, then our brain has been destroyed and we cannot offer many things. And there is, as you know, some of you, there is a world trial, World Fingers Network in the vast majority of countries, which start to do the same intervention that were done by Finnish study. And we can see if we succeed in order to prevent Alzheimer's disease in all these countries. In a recent study in Lancet, we found that there are some conclusions from a group who are working on prevention every day, and they discuss that there are 12 risk factors. You can see here in your language: diabetes, high blood pressure at midlife, obesity, physical inactivity, depression, smoking, low education, hearing loss, traumatic brain injury, high alcohol consumption, social isolation, and air pollution. And these 4 are new one we had no idea until now about this one. We know, all of us, that if we do high alcohol consumption, we have more possibilities to have dementia in future. But now we have the results of this study which support this idea. But also there are some protective factors, such as healthy diet, education, physical activity, mental activity, and social activity. And in this paper, the authors discuss about new risk factors, such as loneliness, loss of hope, stress, sleep disorders, health of mouth. There are many studies now that suggest that there is a connection between dementia and health of mouth. And perhaps we'll find in the future that some infections are related with brain neurodegeneration. And one of these infection is COVID-19. Hippocrates, again, the father of medicine, said that our body has the ability to autotherapy. Very important protective factors are our diet, our body exercise, our environment, our lifestyle, and the way we are thinking. That means that all these things that we are working with under the umbrella of the Finnish study, all these were written and discussed 25 centuries before, only without any studies, only noticing the people, how old they are, and how was their life. So this is very useful for all of us in order to change our lifestyle and change the way we are thinking about. And let's go to the next study we have published about a natural product which also has very good results in our brain, is extra virgin olive oil. And extra virgin olive oil has many phenolic compounds in it, and also these compounds protect our brain from all these problems we are going to see in the next slides. So let's see some retrospective clinical studies with extra virgin olive oil, which showed them some results. So the first one was published in 1999 in Neurology, a very good paper. And the authors found that in an elderly population of southern Italy, where they have about the same olive oil we have in Greece, with a typical Mediterranean diet, high MUFA intakes appear to be protective against age-related cognitive decline. The main food in Mediterranean diet is vegetables and also olive oil. Let's go on. The next study. This is the translation in your language, and let's go on. There is another study which was published by a Greek professor of neurology, which showed that higher adherence to the Mediterranean diet is associated with a reduced risk of Alzheimer's disease. So I said that Mediterranean diet is rich in olive oil, and this is the percentages of risk after using Mediterranean diet. You can see that if we have a high adherence, we have 28% reduce of risk. If we have middle adherence to Mediterranean diet, we have 17% higher risk, and if we have low, then you can see if we don't follow Mediterranean diet, we have very low, very big risk to have Alzheimer's disease. Let's go to the next slide. We can see here that there is also a Spain study which showed that a long-term intervention with extra virgin olive oil, which is rich in Mediterranean diet, resulted in a better cognitive function. And that means that we can use it in order to have a bright mind. And this is another part of this study, which was published in 2015. And here we can see the results. Here is the memory, and the best results were by the nuts. One group were taken nuts, one group were taken olive oil, and one group was the control group. And you can see the control group in memory, in frontal cognition, and global cognitive functions. There was a deterioration, while the nuts helped more memory, and extra virgin olive helped also frontal cognition and global cognition more than the other groups. And also we can see prospective clinical trials. These all I presented were retrospective studies. We go on with prospective clinical studies, and we can see this study is the first study was published with extra virgin olive oil, which was published 2 years before from our group. And it is a randomized clinical trial of Greek high phenolic early harvest extra virgin olive oil in mild cognitive impairment. And this study is the MIC-OIL study. This is the organization of the study, the design study. We started having the hope that we can recruit 150 patients. We didn't succeed because we had no olive oil that year, much olive oil, and we stopped having less patients. The first group were patients who were taken moderate phenolic extra virgin olive oil in Mediterranean diet. The second group followed the high phenolic early harvest extra virgin olive oil plus Mediterranean diet. And the last one was a control group which followed only Mediterranean diet. We examined them at baseline and after 12 months. And also we have neuropsychological examinations, MRI, EEG, ApoE, and some biomarkers we examined before and after the study. Here we can see how many were the milligrams of each phenolic compound in our olive oil. In these two kinds of olive oils we used, and you can see in the first one we have 975 milligrams per kilogram, while in the second olive oil we had 271 milligrams per kilogram. Both of the extra virgin olive oils are very good for our health according to the European instructions, and we would like to see if there is a better result if we use this olive oil if this is a better olive oil than this one. Finally, we have 18 patients in each group, and the results are very interesting. You can see here first the demographics. You can see that there was no big difference between the three groups. And we have here, you can see that the p-value is not significant difference in age, gender, and education. This is the chart of enrollment of our patients and follow-up and analysis. This is the statistical methods we used in order to find the results. And here are the results which are published in Journal of Alzheimer's Disease. And you can see here in Mini-Mental, we have the second group is better than one. In the other scope, we have the first and second group also have good results. Here there is no difference between the two groups, but there is a difference between the control group and these two groups. We have in digit span also a difference, and also we have in letter fluency a difference. That means that we have some significant difference in patients who were on olive oil. Here is another study which was published also in Journal of Alzheimer's Disease, where we did the EEG analysis, and we found that we had better results in extra virgin olive oil early harvest one with high phenolic compounds, better results than the moderate phenolic extra virgin olive oil with eyes opened and eyes closed. And in collaboration with biochemistry in Aristotle University of Thessaloniki, we started working with biomarkers in blood, and we found that we have some results first in fibrinolytic system, and you can see here we included also a group with Alzheimer's disease. We have a control group, a group of MCI just before starting the study, a group of MCI without EVO, extra virgin olive oil, 12 months after the half of them took half extra virgin olive oil, and half of them did not take extra virgin olive oil. And here also there are all the statistics, education, gender, and mini-mental state examination. You can see here everybody, every group, they have the same results in mini-mental except Alzheimer's disease, where we have lower results. And you can see here the results, which are very interesting for all of us, because all of us can use this very good extra virgin olive oil in order to have these very interesting results. We joined the groups after the neuropsychological exams. We had the same results in ADAS-COG. We joined these two groups in order to do this biochemical analysis, and we found that after extra virgin olive oil, we had the same levels of PAI-1 as in control group, while in other two groups of MCI, this biomarker was increased, and very increased was in Alzheimer's disease patients. And also in alpha-2 and diplasmin, we had the same results. You can see here are the levels of normals. Here are the levels of the patients with extra virgin olive oil. And here are the other groups with MCI and Alzheimer's disease. And finally, with the results with TPA, another biochemical or biomarker of coagulation, you can see here also normals and patients with extra virgin olive oil to have the same results while the other groups are lower. And let's go with other biomarkers now. Until now, we discussed about coagulation. So it seems that extra virgin olive oil protects us from stroke and myocardial infarction, and also from other infarctions. And let's go to other now biomarkers. Let's see. Beta amyloid 142, you can see there is no difference, as you can see here. We didn't succeed to find any difference in this biomarker. And we worked with another biomarker, which is BMI1. And here you can see the results of BMI1 and P53 together, because both of them are neuroprotective proteins. And you can see here are the control group, and here is MCI patients under EVO. You can see all the other groups they have low levels of this protein, but also in this protein, normal and patients on EVO are in normal levels, while the other groups are abnormal levels. And let's go to other biomarkers, total tau and phospho-tau. And you can see that in Alzheimer's disease, we have an increase of total tau protein, and in phospho-tau, you can see that we have about the same results in control and patients on EVO. The same we can see here, but there is no significant results with other people with MCI. So we have a difference in MCI patients and patients with Alzheimer's disease. And let's go to another issue about neuroinflammation. And you can see here we studied two biomarkers of neuroinflammation. And you can see here are the patients on EVO, and they have the same level with the control group, while we have significant difference from this group and Alzheimer's disease in Perlefkin 6. And the same results we have also in TNF-alpha. You can see here the results with extra virgin olive oil, which are at the same level with normal people, and they have a significant difference with the Alzheimer's and MCI patients. And we continued searching with other biomarkers, and we found also the reduction of PARP levels, and PARP levels are very, very interesting because they are connected with DNA damage. And you can see here how the levels are very high in Alzheimer's disease, in MCI patients after 1 year from the baseline. And you can see how the levels are decreased after using extra virgin olive oil, which is very, very interesting in order to know all of us, not only for our patients, but also for us, in order to go on using olive oil and go on in our life. Also, we did another biomarker, which is an excellent marker of oxidative DNA lesions. And you can see also the same results. The levels are the same as in control group, while in Alzheimer's disease, the levels are increased. So if we can conclude, you can see that we have a decrease in TNF-alpha and interleukin-6. So we have reduced neuroinflammation. We have also reduced total tau and phospho-tau, which are Alzheimer's disease biomarkers. We have no changes in A beta 42 and A beta 40, but we have an increase in the ratio, which is very good for Alzheimer's disease patients. And we have also all these proteins which show that we have neuroprotective effects of extra virgin olive oil, and these which are decreased, all of them are decreased, and we can discuss about prevention of damage of DNA. And finally, we published another study with all these results we had from our study. And as you can see in this very simple slide, you can see that extra virgin olive oil coming in our brain. We have neuroprotective, anticoagulant, antioxidant, anti-Alzheimer's, and anti-inflammatory effects. All these things are published in these 8 studies. And I would like to continue discussing about other future studies. We continue to work on natural products in Thessaloniki. And perhaps if you want, we can work together with you in future in some of them. For example, we started using again extra virgin olive oil, the same virgin olive oil, but we are going to increase the number of patients. 100 will take early harvest extra virgin olive, which was a little better from the other with moderate phenolic content, and also another group with a Mediterranean diet. We are going to do the same thing, as we have done in the first study, but also we see all the new biomarkers, tau 217, tau 181, and so on. And the same study, until now, we have almost finished the recruiting of this study, and we follow them now. And if we succeed, we follow them not only for 1 year, but for 2 years, if we have a very good, very much olive oil in our agenda. And also we started another study, and now we're close to finish it with Greek mountain olibus tea, which has also many useful compounds which can help our brain. And these are some of the references we have about Greek mountain tea. This is the design of the study. 30 patients on tea and 30 patients in diet. And another study is with CBD, cannabidiol oil extract, which we used it in order to see if we have the control of behavior problems. This study was published, and every one of you can ask me to send it to you, or Osman will ask me in order to send it to you. We had very, very interesting results. And now we use this CBD oil extract in order to see if we have improvement also in cognition. I would like to show you the design is about 50 in the intervention group and 50 in the control group. We have now this number of patients who will follow this medication. This is a study which was published this year, which supports this idea. cannabinoids in the management of behavioral, psychological, and motor symptoms of neurocognitive disorders, a mixed study systematic review. And let's go to the next study we are running with pomegranate seed oil, seed oil. And this is a very good study. This is the background, the scientific background of this study. I see that the time is over and I'll finish in some minutes. This is the design of this study, 50 patients on pomegranate seed oil and 50 only on Mediterranean diet. And we published the first poster in the ADI conference in London some months before, and many people came and asked us about this study. And also we tried to do a study with omotavrin, the name of this medication, which is a complement, not a medication approved by EMA or FDA. And this is the same design. And we have some patients also in this. And now we are going to collect also people who are on Vivimind, on omotavrin in an open study in order to see if we succeeded to help this patient with epsilon 4 allele of ApoE, because the study I showed to you at the beginning of my presentation, which I said that we have a big hope that this medication will help us, showed in the previous studies that it helps mainly the patients with ApoE epsilon 4. So we believe that giving this medication, which is not approved yet, but it is in the market of different countries, perhaps we can stop the progression of patients with MCI and epsilon 4. We will stop the progression of them to Alzheimer's disease. I would like to finish my presentation saying thank you to all of these people who are working with me as groups, different groups in different places. And I would like also to thank you, all of you from our lovely city, Thessaloniki. And I would like to invite you in our conference in February, where we are going to discuss about all these studies. Some of them will finish, some of them will go on, but we have the opportunity also to share our experience under a different umbrella, under the Greek Alzheimer Association in Thessaloniki. Thank you very much for your attention.